It's been a lot of talk around the NFL regarding a number of things, but one thing that a lot of people are not necessarily talking about is the Giants' defensive line. Are they the best in the league? If they're not, where do they stack up in the league? And then Kenny Clark, after being traded to the Dallas Cowboys, gives his comments on the move. Y'all know me and Steve are going to talk about it and break it all down, but you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Steve-O. So if y'all tuned in, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Steve-O, what's the word?
Yo.
Hey, man, but hey, we close. We get football this upcoming Thursday. Actual games in the NFL that actually matter. No more preseason talk. No more who's getting cut, who's staying on his respective team. It's all about who wins and who loses from here on out, all the way into February. It's cracking, Steve-O. We had a good slate of games in NCAA yesterday. Arch Batty, y'all lucky we ain't doing NCAA. But hey, let's talk about these New York Giants defensive line, bro. The New York Giants defensive line now consists of Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, guys like Kayvon Thibodeaux, and my man's Brian Burns. Steve-O, I think that this D line can be one of the best in the league. Definitely thinking that way. How you feeling about it on how this defensive line for the Giants stack up around the NFL?
Yeah, they definitely in the top five conversation. PFF had them as ranked as low as of high as 3 last year, and then with the addition of Abdul Carter, I could see them being even higher. Like you said, they definitely got a bevy of players on that D line they can go to, as well as some nice backups as well. But I mean, there is some players. I mean, there is still some teams that gonna have a lot to say about that. Pittsburgh being one of them, having Cam Hayward and TJ leading the charge over there. As you know, TJ is the leading man over there with all the sacks, got the big contract, getting paid the most money. And so we already know what comes to that. Then you got Philly, who was 2 on the PFF list. And retrospect, they got Jalen Carter, they got Josh Sweat. It's been a bevy of other people. Now they did lose Milton to the he went to Carolina.
Yep, he was supposed to go to Carolina, and then New England said we'll
New
get
England, yeah, he went to New England. So
you.
yeah, so that I'm expecting that to take a nice little hit, even though they did draft some nice pieces as well. So I think they might end around the 4th piece. So I could definitely see the Giants taking the number 2 spot, them sliding back down to 3 or 4, and then under that, you still got Houston, who got Daniil Hunter, and then an up and coming young player, Will Anderson, who's been killing. You got Buffalo, they don't necessarily have a star, I would say, but as a unit, as a whole conglomerate, that defense and that defensive line get busy. And they finished around the top 5 when it comes to sacks and turnovers. And then these my last two. Cleveland gonna have something to say, and the Broncos gonna have something to say.
I think that's fair, bro, because I think that like we talking about teams and you know what I'm saying, the defenses around the league. You definitely hear a lot of people on the side of a Denver Broncos. So I think that was a hell of a defensive line that you put in there, especially with probably if not the best cornerback over there that they already got, and Pat. But I think yeah.
Is it Surtain? That's his name, Pat Surtain.
Yeah, Pat Surtain. But I think that hey, when it comes to the Giants, bro, I just look at this defensive line and being able to shock a couple people, especially in their division. I don't have them going crazy in the NFC East, but I think that when they compare to teams like Philly, when they compare to teams like the Commanders and then the Dallas Cowboys, I think that when you talk about the D line of the Giants versus the Commanders in Dallas, they might have an upper hand.
I would say they do.
I would say they had an upper hand in that regard. And me personally, I know that the results have not been there for Brian Dable so far with the Giants. Only one playoff appearance. He did win a playoff game, but I still think that he is a solid coach, bro. It's just hard to find the NFL quarterback in this league because you see that the hit rate is literally like at 50% for first round quarterbacks.
Crazy.
Hopefully Russ can buy the Giants a little bit of time before you can insert Jackson Dart in there because he looked good in preseason, but we know preseason, a lot of people look good in preseason. Yeah. So I don't think they should be trying to rush him out there. Just allow Russ to do Russ things. And then you will know when it's time to put in Jackson Dart. But I think that defensive line, they're going to be able to shock some people. Like a lot of people, like initially, you know what I'm saying, coming into this season, you looked at the defensive line of the Giants and you said, hey, you looked at the team of the defensive giant, the New York Giants, and pretty much said, man, that's a win for us. Not no more. Not anymore. Simply because the wide receivers look like they improved. The offensive line has improved. You got a solid vet quarterback who can hold things down for now. The running backs look good. I really like the fella Tracy.
Tracy, nice.
Then you got you a number one in Neighbors. And now they starting to piece these things together. And it ain't gonna be just we about to go win this game versus the Giants now. I think
and they got a good coach.
They can shock some people. Yeah.
And they got a good coach as well. Like you said, they got the perfect quarterback out there, so you ain't gotta rush Dart out. And Dart needs to sit down and learn because there's a lot of times where he just needs to learn to get rid of the ball and not take plays and just know when to take the check downs and when to dirt the ball and when to get the hell out of bounds. And that's something Russ know how to do. So that's something he'll learn from. But yeah, if you shocked about the D-line coming out, that's just your fault because, like I said, they already finished top 3 in most people rankings when it came to D-linemen alone. To add on Abdul Carter, they're outside of maybe there's only like 4 teams I would consistently send forward with. That's Philly, that's Pittsburgh, that's Houston, and now is New York. Those are the only teams I will consistently send 4 out. And that's not something to shrug your shoulders at because if you can send 4, that tell you did everything right to get this D line correct.
For real. I think that's a hell of a point too, because you look at the Eagles just winning the Super Bowl. Most of the game they just rushed 4. and the 4 was just getting home. They was whooping the Kansas City Chiefs with just 4. And everybody knows if you pay attention to football, if you play football at any level, when you could just rush 4 and you could just have 7 people in coverage.
Turnover City.
How hard that is?
Turnover City.
Bro, it's over with. Every defensive coordinator will love a defensive line like the one that the Giants have because you could do so many things with it. But Steve, before we move on to the comments of Kenny Clark, you got Abdul Carter penciled in for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I want to, but there's just so many good defenders coming out. And then there's so many good defenders coming out that's going to get a lot of burn just as much as him. So that's my only thing. Is he my front runner? Yes. But if he don't get it, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a fair way to play it too, because when you look at Abdul Carter, you know he was at the top of the draft for a reason. But in Atlanta, they took 2 young pass rushers. That's going to get a lot of tick. They're going to get a lot of tick.
And then Buddy out of Michigan, Mason Graham, he playing next to, if not one of the best. Right. So he can cook just because Miles good enough.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, for a guy like Mason Graham, you don't need to have 12 sacks to have a good impact. Abdul Carter, as an edge, you got to get 12, 15, some sacks.
Which go leave him about 6 just right there for him.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. And then for Mason Graham as an interior D lineman, bro, if you get 10, people going to be looking at you like you damn near all pro.
And they're going to... And you going to get paid like a motherfucker. Somebody going to pay you.
Somebody go pay him because that's gonna be crazy right there, and that's gonna be a hell of a draft selection if he does go out there too. And I think that's a hell of a point too. Like when we talk about the D line in Cleveland too, like they got some rushers over there now. They got some rushers, and you know Myles Garrett.
Yeah, the only one
for him. It's 1 and 2. For it's Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. You could 1 or 2, however you want to line them up. I ain't gonna go through that right now, but those are the best in the league to me. And I think that, hey, you can't if Mason Graham is able to have that impact that we believe he can have, especially coming out of the Big Ten where you played at Michigan and battled every single week, just about versus other top tier talent, you ready for the NFL. You just got to prove it on the field now.
Yep.
That's it. But hey, y'all let us know how y'all feeling about that topic right there. But Steve-O, we know we heard the trade around the world, and you went live on it. Michael Parsons got traded to the Green Bay Packers, but in return, the Dallas Cowboys, they got 2 first-round picks, and they got Kenny Clark. And everybody that know, Kenny Clark, you can call him whatever you want, but what you can't call him is not a bad interior defensive lineman. And Steve-O, he had some comments on the move, pretty much saying that he was shocked and let the Dallas Cowboys know that he's going to get a no nonsense type of guy. He said, you're going to get a dog, somebody that's just all about football. I'm here to ball. I'm here to be my best self. I feel like when I'm my best self, there's nobody messing with me. That's what I bring to the table. I'm here to play my ass off. And he also went on to say, and I'm paraphrasing on his last part, he said it felt good to feel wanted by Jerry Jones, Coach Schottenheimer, and all those guys. How you feeling about the comments?
I mean, I ain't surprised. I think anybody coming out that at any and no matter who the player was would have been shocked coming out of the situation because nobody seen this coming. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't know where he was going to be traded to, if and let alone did we know he was going to get traded. So anybody would have been shocked and caught off guard regardless of it. And that's how he should feel. He should be more fired up because everybody been paying attention, and like you said, at the point of the trade, nobody thought, well, it was kind of 50-50 of what's going to happen. Is the trade actually going to happen? Is they going to play long ball, this, that, and the third? And we also heard what they wanted back. So he did hear, okay, we want a guy, a pass rusher back, and he was in that deal, so he already knew he was wanted. And that's for most players. Most players are just put in a deal to make the deal happen. Not too many times. Well, it's almost like it's almost two ways you get traded. Either you want the trade to happen because either you want to go or the team wants you, or you're just a throw in. In this situation, it was the team wanted them. So I think that's just the best case scenario for both situations.
I agree with you. And the crazy thing, he had to be shocked, Steve-O. Kenny Clark practiced the day he was traded. It's crazy. He practiced with the team before he was traded. That is crazy. And I respect it, bro. I think that's a hell of a conversation. I know that people around Dallas, man, at least some people that I've listened to, and I got like a homie, his wife, she a Dallas Cowboy fan through and through. Like she know about the players, the team, Jerry Jones, all that. She was pissed about Michael going, but on the flip side, she was happy that they was able to get a guy like Kenny Clark because forever they have struggled to stop the run, and they believe that this is the piece to help stop the run. People thought I was crazy because I'm like, Michael Parsons is a hell of a player. But we seen offensive coordinators scheme different things towards his side to say, we're running towards you to wear you down so you won't be able to utilize your talents as a pass rusher. We've seen that. And Steve-O, do you think that's crazy that I brought that up?
No, because it's proof. It's proof, especially in playoff games. We're gonna run at Michael, and that's the thing. If anybody knows, especially us, we know what Kenny Clark can do. Not only is he a monster in the pass rush, but it's very hard to get your run game going, especially running in between the tackles because he's always right there waiting.
Big motherfucker.
And credit to your homie wife. If you know anything about about the Dallas Cowboys, they struggle to stop the run, especially in between the tackle. Is even then, even us when we played them a couple years ago when we almost did our thing, we ran the ball pretty good against them.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they've been trying to fix the problem for a minute now. Well, I can't say they've been trying because they ain't drafted a solid 3 tech yet. But
Yeah, drafted Mozzie Smith from Michigan, and that was I had so much hope for the young man.
yeah,
He ain't panned out, bro.
he didn't pan out. But yeah, it is what it is.
Shit like that happened all the time.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at it, bro, and I'm saying that they got a hell of a pass rusher. But my biggest question moving forward for Michael Parsons is how do you get better in run support now? because you're not done. You're only 26 years old, entering your prime, or technically in your prime. In football, the prime is whenever the hell you step foot on the field, technically, because you spent so long in college.
When you get good, right?
Exactly. So for me, it's just like Michael Parsons. I know he can rush the passer, but can you help in run support to the level that we have not seen up until this point? And I think the Packers got a hell of a player, but he comes with his flaws and his issues as well. Now, all the other stuff that's coming out of the locker room since he's been traded, I'm like, bro, now y'all saying that he was a locker room problem. Now y'all saying that he wasn't focused in meetings. Why y'all ain't saying why he was on the team?
Because that's just classic Jerry trying to cover his ass. Jerry just trying to cover his ass, and he think he think we stupid. We know your tactics.
Bro, like he had a lady report. Well, I don't know if Jerry put her up to it. I'm not even gonna hold you. But the female reporter, she did a whole interview from the seat of her car on a show on Fox, and was like, "Yeah." I talked to some older coaches. They was like, "Yeah, sometimes Michael Parsons in meetings would drift off, and the coaches have to keep him engaged." I'm like, "Why we just not hearing about this now?" Like, what the fuck?
Because every star player does that till you they get mad at him.
Oh, the real. So, but hey, the season about to be rolling around, man. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see what happened. The Dallas Cowboys do face off against Green Bay.
That's the funny part.
That is going to be a game to watch.
And ain't the first game of the year.
It's going down, bro.
Against what? Who they play?
Who?
Philly. They play Philly. Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas play Philly. The Packers, I believe, go against Detroit in week 1. So that's going to be interesting.
Damn, you traded your best player and you the first game of the season. That's crazy.
On Thursday night in front of the world, Craig. In front of the world.
You get your ass towed up, it's going, ooh, dear.
You better lose by a touchdown.
For real. If your defense gets slaughtered.
Because we know Matt Eberflus pretty damn well over here. We know him pretty damn well.
Y'all gonna get up, especially if y'all get up by 20. We know it's cupcake. It's cupcake.
But hey, you got anything left, bro?
Nah.
Well, all right, y'all. That is it for us today. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Before y'all roll up out of here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let us know how you feel about all things discussed today. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always love football. Y'all already know. We're going to catch y'all on the next one. For sure. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break